Hello, my name is Christopher Leffelholtz, and this is the Development Department Key Review. Unlike previous reviews, I am going to have to do this one fairly quickly. I am currently in jury duty, and as such, Tim Zollman will be presenting tomorrow, or basically answering questions tomorrow, but I am providing an early video. Just please bear with me because I'm going to run through it once and I may stutter or pause during it, just because that is sometimes how I talk. So we'll start with the key review performance indicator page. We'll start with our favorite topic, which is MR rate. I'm happy to report that in June, we were successfully above the previous year's June target. July is looking like it's trending towards roughly about the same performance. So basically early of last year, the performance associated with that, we've been pretty consistently hitting those marks related to MR rate. I don't anticipate either July or August having the same jumps that we had last year. In particular, we definitely saw a larger or less amount of PTO taken last year versus this year. With the reduction in restrictions related to COVID, we are seeing a decrease, or actually an increase in vacation, and subsequently I expect it to affect our MR rate in the short term. LCP, we had a major update to basically our caching capabilities provided by one of our vendors. We moved over to a single vendor, and that's caused our LCP performance to improve dramatically, about 60%, basically from 2.5 seconds down to a second for largest contentful paint. So we're seeing great results there associated with that. Sales renewal CSAT continues to be at 96%, pretty satisfied there. Open MR review efficiency. This is a change from our last Q review update where we are now only looking at open MRs, and this is the number of MRs under review. And we're currently under the 21-day threshold associated with that. Development team member retention continues to be okay. You can look at the details there for the exact percentages associated with that. And then we have open MR, average age of open positions. This is a metric that's newly defined. You see some data associated with it, but it's a little early to give any characterization associated with it. Those are all our key performance indicators. Now we'll move into just our regular performance indicators. And I'm not going to highlight all of them, but I'm just going to kind of talk briefly about a few. Handbook MR rate, we continue to see pretty consistent trends there, not transitions, see pretty consistent results there, though we are not at our target. So we'll have to look into how potentially we encourage more handbook MR updates in the development pages associated with that. Location factor has been largely unchanged since we made the change in February to the new regions and updates associated with that to employees location factor. So I understand that there may be an additional update happening soon. So I'm tempted to wait until after that to give further analysis or considerations around that of how we best address that. Discretionary development bonus rate, we hit it for the month of June, so that's an encouraging result related to that. We've been below there for the past quarter, so it's good to see us back kind of around the 10% threshold. And then, as I mentioned earlier, PTO is definitely up from that perspective. We don't have a target for this, but it's good to see that people are taking vacation, particularly as pandemic restrictions basically are lifted. On the lowlights, one of the aspects that we talk about is our CEO apdex for SLO. We are still below our target associated with that. We continue to work on this. The team has been working hard. It's vastly improved in the last 2 to 3 months, but it still is not a target. So we're working on that as well. And then one other thing I'd like to point out is our maintainers. We actually hit 50 maintainers for our backend side. So that's an encouraging milestone. We continue to focus on increasing those numbers, though it looks like we have a little bit of work to do to basically get that up because our maintainers per MR is still below the threshold, though trending in the right direction. So that's encouraging from that aspect. And last but not least, open MR age is a new a new metric. Basically, it's the how long MRs have been open. You can see we're currently above a target of 30 days. That's largely picked just based on trends. We'll continue to look at how we can potentially bring that down. And that is it for performance indicators. Next up, we will talk about OKRs just briefly. We had several OKRs this quarter. One is around our new delivery methods, particularly around engineering allocation and cloud licensing support associated with that. Both of those are effectively on track. In fact, all our OKRs are on track. They will not most of them will not tend towards 100%, but given our aspirational nature, we're not anticipating getting 100% on those. Related to SaaS improvements, both our sharding solution and validation, or decomposition as it's now called, initial implementation is well underway and in progress. And then we've actually seen some really good results related to large MR performance, which you can dig into if you're interested in to understand that, but it's very encouraging results there. And for the people side of things, we wanted to focus on culture amp training. We're on track there to basically make sure that we're participating in LinkedIn Learning, as well as talking to individuals about what they're doing related to their training to further their careers. And then we're on track to also complete DIB training for all active employees at this point. By that I mean any employees who are currently working for GitLab and not on parental leave or otherwise off for a brief period of time during this quarter. That's it for both the performance indicators as well as OKRs associated with the development team. Thanks everybody for their support and continued involvement in the development department. We'll move into questions. Thank you.